The following video is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook.
The day has finally come. It has arrived. So grab your jerseys, grab your helmet, and tighten up them shoes because football is back. It is back, and today I am partnering up with DraftKings Sportsbook to bring you all an offer you definitely do not want to miss. New customers will receive $200 in bonus bets instantly after betting $5 on any wager. All you got to do is download the DraftKings app now and sign up using promo code Philly500. That's right, new customers. You bet just $5 on any wager, you will receive $200 in bonus bets instantly. And if you're like me and you like to stay in on the action, may I suggest parlays. Parlays is where you combine multiple bets together for a shot at even bigger payouts. And listen, if sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry about it. DraftKings got you covered. You can still join in on all the fun at DraftKings daily fantasy offerings across all sports. Just remember, download the DraftKings app now. New customers who use my promo code Philly500 and bet just $5 on any wager will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Philly500 only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Once again, I'd like to thank DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring today's video. And remember, use promo code Philly500. Bet $5, get $200 instantly in bonus bets. But that's promo code Philly500. Well, the final preseason game is behind us, and all of us are wondering, what will the 53-man roster be, and what does Howie Roseman have up his sleeve? Here is my prediction. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So the preseason is finally over, and I'm glad because that last night game, especially the second half, when Ian Book came in, was brutal. And the Eagles fell to the Indianapolis Colts 27-13, but who cares about the score unless you're the Indianapolis Colts? Did you see these guys acting like they won the Super Bowl after the game? How ridiculous can you get? I can't wait to play that team for real again one day and beat the crap out of them. Meanwhile, the 53-man roster will be upon us in a few days, and Howie Roseman is lighting up the phones, and I expect a lot of movement, a lot of things to happen. But before we get into all of it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled, pause, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. If you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you so much for all the support you give to me. It truly, truly means a lot. Now, as far as last night's game went, you really had basically the Eagles' third and fourth string going up against the Indianapolis Colts starters that played pretty much the half. I mean, you had Michael Pittman Jr. out there late in the second quarter. At one point, he goes out of the game banged up, came back in, but I mean, Colts were playing with fire last night. So the way I look at it is forget the score. Look at what your third and fourth strings did in that game. You get the opening kickoff. Devin Allen gets it, returns it 70-something yards, and set up the Eagles for their first score. Mariota was in there for 3-4 plays. They scored a touchdown, and that was it. The second string was out, and it was all third and fourth stringers. By the time the Colts offense took the field, you had your third and fourth string players already in the game. So to me, I thought the Eagles handled their own. I thought they played pretty good to hang with their number ones. When the Colts starters can't put away your third stringers and fourth stringers, that's a problem for them, And I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the game because I really want to get into this 53-man roster and my predictions. But I will say this. I thought the standouts of the game were Devin Allen, which really upsets me, and I'm going to talk about it soon. Eli Ricks, I thought he was great. You look at Eli Ricks going up against Michael Pittman Jr., and he was holding his own. If this kid doesn't make the team, it's a crime. It's a crime. Okay, I thought those guys were good. I thought Mecky Gardner was really good, but I wonder how we're going to be able to keep him. So there were some guys, I thought played pretty good. There were some guys I wasn't too impressed with. Trey Sermon just looks too slow to me. He really does. I wasn't really impressed with him either. And I'll say that the Van Summeren kid, the linebacker, had 17 tackles, and he missed the sack, and he missed some stuff. I think he's a kid that will be back on the practice squad, and we'll get all into it. But the preseason is over, and now it's about the 53-man roster. I expect the Eagles to make a couple trades. I think if I had to bet, I would say that Howie's going to make at least 2 trades, and I think one of them will be significant. Now, I'm not saying it's Jonathan Taylor, or I'm not saying it's this, or I'm not saying that. It could be very well a safety, but I do think that the Eagles are going to move some things around, because I think there's some guys that they would like to keep on this team that I am not sure going to clear waivers, but we'll see. But in the meantime, I do want to jump into this 53-man roster. So let's just jump right into it, right? So here's what I have. Now, these are my predictions, and these predictions I understand probably won't be right, because usually Howie does so much with the roster. Sometimes they keep an extra guy at one position until they can make a trade or something like that, so they can get guys on IR and things like that. But this is just my prediction based upon no trades, and as of right now, no cuts. So somebody could probably get cut as soon as I do this, but I don't think it'll be anybody on this 53-man roster as of right now. But this is my prediction, and this is before trades. I gotta say that because Howie Roseman is a master this time of year. So here's my 53-man roster projection. Quarterbacks, I think the Eagles keep 3. Of course, Hurts, Marcus Mariota, and Tanner McKee. Tanner McKee has been fabulous, and he was one of my standouts in yesterday's game also. There's been some articles about the possibility of Marcus Mariota getting cut. I don't think that's going to happen, and here's why. At least as of right now. Now, we'll see who shakes free in terms of, like, would the Titans cut Malik Willis or something like that. But as of right now, Marcus Mariota played 1 drive and he was out of the game. That kind of tells me, by the way they treated him last night, he will not get cut. He will be there. So I have 3 quarterbacks: Hurts, Mariota, and McKee. My running backs are really a no-brainer, and like I said, this is before trades or anything like that, just in case the Eagles are going to make a play for Jonathan Taylor. But before that, I have 4. I have DeAndre Swift as my number 1. I believe he's the starter. I know some people think it's Gainwell. I think Swift will be the starter here. But and this isn't really a depth chart either, I'm just going to say. This is just how quick and who I thought of when I was typing this in. But DeAndre Swift, Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott, and Rashad Penny are my 4 running backs that I believe the Eagles will keep. Tight ends, I have 3. Dallas Goedert, Jack Stahl, and Grant Calcaterra. I thought every other tight end didn't do enough. It was nice to see Tyree Jackson play good yesterday. If the Eagles can get him to clear waivers and bring him back to the practice squad, I'd be all for it. But Arnold and none of those other guys, Russell, none of them showed me anything. So I have 3 tight ends. Wide receivers. Now this was hard. I kept putting 6 and then taking 1 away, then putting 6. And just by the time you try to get down to the 53, I just had to go with what I thought the Eagles would do here. This isn't what I would do. I would keep 6 some way, somehow, because I believe Devin Allen should be on this team. I believe Devin Allen, the way he returned that kick, the way he played special teams as a gunner, at one point he outran a punt by 20 yards. I think he needs to be on this team, in this roster. But my gut feeling is that he's not going to. My gut feeling is they're going to keep 5 wide receivers: A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, Olimad Kazakayas, we'll just say Oz. And then I think Britton Covey, they look as a lock on kickoff. I don't know why they don't give Devin Allen a punt return, and I can't stress this enough. If this was me, I would probably keep Devin Allen, and I would go one less player on my defensive tackles. But I'm trying to do what I think the Eagles are going to do based upon how they treated players in preseason. So I think I'm going to say 5. Now, the offensive line, I have 9. They could very well keep 10, but I have 9. Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Jack Driscoll, Tyler Steen, Fred Johnson. Now, they cut Fred Johnson, but then they gave him a 2-year deal. That 2-year deal tells you he is going to make this team. And then the final guy, I had Sua Opeta, who didn't play last night, I don't believe. So that tells me that he's going to keep him. Josh Sills may make this team. He may end up coming back on the practice squad or something. But as of right now on my thing, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to keep 9. Now, defensively, defensive end and edge rusher, I kind of combined the two because these are the guys that are going to go after the quarterback. But I got 6. I got Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Nolan Smith. I think you got to keep Patrick Johnson. I think he's got too much upside. I think you keep him. And the other reason I'm keeping him is because I have Derek Barnett here also as my 6th. I think Derek Barnett is a very likely trade option. So I'm going to keep Derek Barnett with the hopes that they'll trade him. If it was me and I could have it my way, I would cut Derek Barnett and I would keep Devin Allen. That would be the move I make, okay? But I'm trying to guess what I think they're going to do, which will probably be nothing in the kind. Now, defensive tackles, I have 6. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Milton Williams, and Contavious Street. Now, Moro Ajomo is a guy I think they want to keep, and they might have to keep him to get him on IR, because I think he's a guy they want to put on the IR, but you have to be on the 53-man roster before you can be put on that IR. So their initial thing may be to get him under the 53-man roster, then put him on IR, open up a roster spot, and bring somebody else back. But as of right now, I'm going to go, because of the math, I'm going to go 6, and I'm going to leave him out. That was kind of a hard one, too. Linebackers, and these are off-the-ball linebackers, by the way. N'Kobe Dean, Zach Cunningham, Christian Ellis, and Nicholas Morrow. I believe they keep 4. So that's where I'm going with this. Is it possible I think like the guy like Ben Van Summerlin or whatever, I think he gets cut. I think he'll get through waivers. I think he's back on your practice squad. That kid has some talent. He just needs some time to develop. But that's how I see the off-the-ball linebackers. Cornerbacks, I have 6. Now, this is really a hard one, too, because I really actually would like to keep 7. But just because you're trying to get under the numbers, I couldn't make it work the way I wanted to. So, cornerbacks, I have 6. Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Avonte Maddox, locks. Then I have Josh Jobe, Eli Ricks, and then Kelee Ringo. I went with Kelee Ringo because the Eagles traded, they invested in him in the draft. I'm not so sure they're ready to give up on him yet. However, if you're basing it just on play, then Mekhi Gardner beat out Ringo. Ringo should be cut. But I don't think the Eagles will do that just because of what they invested in the draft in him. So Mekhi Gardner is out of here, according to this. And I think that they got to find, if there's 2 guys, the 2 guys that they, in my opinion, got to find a way to keep on this roster is Mekhi Gardner and Devin Allen. But as of right now, I have cornerbacks. I have 6, and I left Gardner out. And only reason I'm doing that is because I think the investment they made in Ringo, I don't think they're going to give up on that right away. Safety. I have 4 safeties. Now, this is probably where I'm going to have a surprise cut or people disagree. But here are my safeties. I have Reed Blankenship, Sidney Brown, Justin Evans, and Kevon Wallace. I cut Edmonds. Terrell Emmons did not show me enough that I don't think any of these other guys can't do. Okay, and if the Eagles don't feel comfortable and they want a veteran safety in there, then you know what? I think they'll make a trade. And I think this is the one area, not counting any crazy running back trade or anything, but this is the one area I think the Eagles will make a trade for. So I have 4 safeties. And then, of course, my specialists are Jake Elliott, Aaron Sipos, and Rick Lovato. Now, they should cut Sipos. And, okay, they should just cut him. He stinks. He absolutely stinks. Okay? And then they should call Matt Ariza and bring him in. That's what they should do. They need another punter. There's no question Sipos isn't good enough. I mean, there was one play where he had one good punt, and then there was another punt where Devin Allen was outran the punt by 20 yards. And it's just, they need to upgrade the punter. I don't know why they won't do it. But that is my 53-man roster. I'm not expecting it to be right. I'm just trying to guess what the Eagles are going to do and how they're thinking. And this is before trades and things like that. You may see something where they keep 8 defensive backs so they can keep Mekhi Gardner, get to a certain point, then make a trade with somebody else and bring somebody else back. There's a lot of different maneuverings. There's going to be them getting to the initial 53, then there's going to be moves made, and by the time you get to week 1, and the 53-man roster on Tuesday is going to look different than it is week 1. That's just the way it is. But this is my best guess at what the Eagles are going to do. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat, and remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. So let me just say this again. I feel like almost guilty cutting Devin Allen in this and Mekhi Gardner because there are 2 guys that I really want under the roster. I just don't know how the Eagles are going to make it work. Unless they're willing to cut Britton Covey, which I don't believe that they are, for Devin Allen. And the reason I say it is because Devin Allen didn't take any punt returns. If they really wanted Devin Allen to go out there and get a punt, return a punt to see if he could do it, they would have put him out there. They didn't. So I got to think that Devin Allen isn't going to be a punter for them. So where does he fall in line? I think he's probably be your best special teams guy. I think he'd be your best kickoff returner. I don't know if that's good enough, but I do. I feel guilty about having to cut Devin Allen and Mekhi Gardner. I just do. Denzel Washington out.